Okay, we're ready. Celebration dedicated to showcasing the rich culture, unique spirit, and dynamic community of St. Louis. And we're going to talk more about that on St. Louis in Tune.
I lost you for a few seconds in there, but I don't know if it was. We'll see.
Welcome to St. Louis in Tune, and thank you for joining us for Fresh Perspectives.
Wait, let's do it again. Okay. No, I had it hit Q. We were still good, but that's all right. Okay.
We're going to go to the very beginning.
Yeah, hold on one second.
All right.
Yeah,
I can do that again.
I know.
Have it memorized.
It threw everybody off. I know. That's okay. Here we go. All right, stand by. Here we go.
Tell me when.
I won't hit the Q.
.314 Day is the perfect occasion to celebrate the people, places, businesses, and spirit of unity that makes it so special. It is an annual celebration dedicated to showcasing the rich culture, unique spirit, and dynamic community of St. Louis. We're going to talk more about that on St. Louis in Tune. Welcome to St. Louis in Tune, and thank you for joining us for Fresh Perspectives on issues and events with experts, community leaders, and everyday people who make a difference in shaping our society and world. I'm Arnold Stricker, along with co-host Mark Langston.
Howdy.
Howdy doody.
So, yeah.
Oh, I'm aging myself there.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
At least
What
I
a
don't
beautiful-
have freckles and red hair.
Yeah. Whiskers. It's a great day.
It is a great day.
We're in March. You know.
We are in March, and we are in the middle of the week of 314 Day celebration. It's just not a day; it's kind of a week.
I like that.
celebration.
You know, do you do that with your birthday? Do you like have a birthday weekend or a birthday week?
Yes.
We do that in our house.
Yes.
If your birthday falls on like a Friday or something, or a Thursday, we do the whole weekend.
I get the Valentine's Day flowers from my wife about a week ahead of Valentine's Day.
Mm.
They're a little cheaper, and then she's got them throughout. They last for a couple of weeks there.
Can I tell you I'm lucky because my cats eat the flowers, so I don't have to buy flowers.
Oh gosh,
So
that's your excuse.
Get a cat.
that's right. Get a cat, right? Get a cat.
I want to thank our sponsor, Better Rate Mortgage. Better Rate Mortgage is our sponsor for St. Louis in Tune, and thank you to Sean Zamanoff for doing that. And folks, we're glad that you've joined us today. You can listen to previous shows at stlintune.com. Please help us continue to grow by leaving a review on our website, stlintune.com, Apple Podcast, or your preferred podcast platform. Our return to civility today deals with just being a great community member and say hello to people you pass in the hall at the office. Even if they say, I'm super busy and important, and they look like that to you, perhaps they're just shy. Your friendly greeting might help them feel more comfortable the next time they see you. I always try to say hello to folks, Mark.
Yeah, I know. We're all in this together, aren't we? Yes. Yeah, you should say
Even
hello.
if we've got that, I've got
Just
this.
smile for crying out loud.
Yeah.
It's not that hard, is it? I don't think
It's actually fewer muscles to smile than
I
it is
know.
to frown.
we could do a whole show on this.
That's correct.
Okay.
314 Day. Wow. Now a lot of people will think I'm talking about Pi Day. I'm not talking about Pi Day.
Mm-mm.
That's a big thing. This is really kind of a St. Louis, what I'm going to call a festival, 314 Day. And Tatum Polk, he's one of the founders and director of operations for 314 Day. Welcome, Tatum, to St. Louis in Tune.
Thank you. Glad to be here with St. Louis in Tune. Let's talk.
So tell us a little bit about the origins of
Yeah.
314 Day.
I want to know how long it's been going on.
Well, I know that, but I'm going to let him spill the beans
Okay.
on that.
I'll spill the beans. This is year 19 for us.
I didn't know it was that
No, I
long.
didn't either.
It has.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So next year we're really excited about year 20, but we won't pass over. We're blessed to be here every day, so we won't pass over year 19. 2006 was our first one, and we've partnered with STL Made and those guys over there, and they kind of really helped become a catalyst in the marketing world and help us really expand probably over the last 5 years. and it's gone from a small 2-man team to being kind of a globally known thing. With social media, you see how fast things can move,
Right.
and you see how many implants and people that leave St. Louis and go all over the place, but they stay tapped into St. Louis with the 314 Day. It's kind of cool.
So what was the impetus to do this? Are you guys just sitting around and I'm talking about Terrell Evans, aka Dip?
Yeah, Dip, Dip. Dip and I have been friends for a long time, and we're both St. Louis born and raised, and we really wanted to be cheerleaders for our city. In a time where things were really exciting, 2006, you're thinking the Cardinals winning the World Series.
Right.
You're thinking Nelly is really popular.
Right.
You're thinking Sheryl Crow's just dropped an album. So there's a lot of things in St. Louis to be excited about. The Blues were, I think they had won a President's Cup that year, or really close.
Yeah.
So they had a really good team, and everything was really exciting in St. Louis. But we grew up in the 80s, and there was a time with like McDonnell Douglas and Boeing and the Chevy dealership and all that stuff. So we wanted to just kind of have that civic pride and kind of make sure that the narrative was starting to change about what St. Louis was. It was kind of getting more to, hey, it's a really violent place. Downtown is, businesses are leaving. And we wanted to remind people what we were and kind of reset a future. And that was 19 years ago.
Wow.
You've got I'm going to read from, an idea, not an idea, but a comment that was made. The idea was sparked from love, the love of the city that made us with so much rich history. We believed it needed to be celebrated and recognized. So what is it about St. Louis with native St. Louisans?
Yeah.
Both Mark and I are native St. Louisans
Right.
also.
Yeah. St. Louis is the biggest small city or the smallest big city. It's
Right.
kind of right in the middle there, and the more I've learned over this actually longer than that, but the more I've learned about the city and its history and its impact on Western civilization and its impact on America and its impact on the Midwest, you come to find out there's some real gems in this city.
Absolutely.
And some really great people that have come here that or were born and raised here and have gone to do great things that you just didn't even know they were from here. And so that's exciting. So the more we dive into history, the more you have pride in it.
You and Dip started this. You mentioned it was a 2-man kind of crew, and it's
Yeah.
expanded.
Yeah.
How has it expanded? In other words, did businesses get on board? I know you mentioned the STL. Matter of fact, folks, go to the STL.com to get a listing of the events that are going on this week, or go to 314day.org and you can get more information about that. But
Sure.
did businesses jump on, or how was that kind of accomplished?
I think we just networked our way through St. Louis. I mean, originally it was a really hard deal to, and my wife's a math teacher over at Luther North, so it was pie day for a lot of people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and we don't disregard that at all. We love that. But for us, it was getting people to understand that we needed civic pride. It was getting people to understand that St. Louis is not just a flyover city. And so, yeah, it was just a 2-man team. We went out and we told a couple people, and they bought into the idea, and that kind of snowballed. And then we realized, hey, we need to attach ourselves, and brands need to attach themselves to our machine, because this is what St. Louis is born on. This is the backs of the Cardinals, the backs of the Blue. Like, it was so many things that we have in common, much more than we have in difference. And so it gets us to a common place where we can have difficult conversations, but realize that we have the same goal of making St. Louis great.
How many events do you recall
Oh, geez.
back?
I said it was 19 years ago. I was,
Yeah,
I was
that's
right.
first year. You see all these grays in
Did
my
you bring your
beard?
list?
I can't remember what I did 19 minutes ago.
I don't remember why I walked in a room.
Yeah. All right. The question was, do I remember some of the events 19 years ago? Our very first event was my birthday is March 16th.
Oh.
So 19 years ago.
This is a birthday celebration.
Yeah, it's just an ego thing. No, so
Yeah.
it was on a Sunday, and so that the 14th fell on a Friday, and so I was in the music industry, and he was on radio over at Radio 1. We talked about a little bit, and so we just had a lot of influential friends that were in the music business. So the easiest way for us to do it 19 years ago was just get us all in the room, everybody kind of play their best songs, and it's kind of
Right.
A concert, to say the least. It was
Right.
just kind of a pop-up concert, and the whole city enjoyed it. And we said, hey, we can grow this thing. We can do that, and that's our goal. And we've pivoted
Mhm.
We've pivoted a lot. You know, in 19 years, we've also grown up.
Mhm.
And we don't have the same goals and aspirations as we did as 25-year-old kids. You know, now we have families, and we have to look and say, what does the future look like? What does St. Louis look like for our kids?
Mhm.
And that sort of thing. And so we have pivoted more and more to get back to community. That wasn't year one, wasn't designed for feeding the unhoused. We didn't think about that year one.
Right.
But we think we spend most of our liquid on feeding the unhoused now.
Yeah, and just kind of speaking to the family thing,
Yeah.
one of the first thing that shows up is a Great Rivers Greenway 3.14 mile self-guided walk and bike ride.
Love it.
You know, family-oriented thing, and there's just a ton of variety of things here. 314-day scavenger hunt.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So did you know? Well, I don't know. I get it. I learn stuff about St. Louis all the time. The city museum.
Yes.
Okay.
That's all with the crazy artwork and
Yes.
that was like a shoe factory.
It was Brown Shoe Factory.
No.
Yes.
Come on. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that was Brown Shoe. So they're gonna have a scavenger hunt where they're hiding little baby shoes all over the city museum, and that's
Cool.
kind of part of it.
That's
Love
cool.
it.
So Brown Shoe Company has New Balance. That's right there in Clayton now.
Right.
And so we talk about all these global brands that we just kind of turn a blind eye to. You kind of take for granted how great the city is and how much we have to offer.
It really is. There's a red hot riplet pizza and wings at JJ Twigs.
Oh, yeah.
314 day at Central West End Yoga.
Wait a minute. Is Red Hot Riplets made in St. Louis?
It's a St. Louis thing.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Okay, I
that.
did not know
Yeah,
that.
so Old Vienna is the St. Louis brand.
They're making Red Hot Riblets.
Yeah. And so
Okay.
now you see all these people be creative with that. I tell people all the time, that's the chip that united the city. Everybody is kind of a spicy barbecue thing.
Yeah.
Barbecue's kind of our thing.
Yeah,
See, I
they've got
never knew that.
they've
That's
got a gooey butter cake ice
You
cream
knew
sandwich.
that, right?
Oh,
You knew,
my-
you knew
yeah.
gooey butter cake.
I knew that.
yeah, my kids love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ice cream cones, 1904,
Yeah.
World's Fair.
Okay.
Pixie sticks. Did you know that was the St. Louis thing?
I didn't know that.
No.
Dive into that.
Wow.
No.
The
that's
Wonka,
like-
the Willy Wonka movie, that whole that's a St. Louis.
Get out of
thing.
town.
The
Okay.
chocolate company was
I
man.
remember those.
I've
man.
gone into
Pure
some
sugar.
Yeah, I've gone into some rabbit holes.
Wow.
Phew.
Pixie sticks. Who
Yeah.
knew?
Who
Yeah.
knew?
Now,
I know.
Twinkies also.
No.
The Hostess Factory.
Hostess
Get
over in
out of
Overland.
here.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It was one right on Broadway.
I'm still scared to eat them.
Well,
I
if
know
you go
they're-
to the moon. That's probably the best thing to take. It lasts for 60 years. Don't go bad. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I know that too.
Okay. Where do you think this is? Let me back up. How has the community responded over the years to all of these?
I think they've responded great with open arms. You know, I mean, I think once we introduced the idea, I think people were like, "Man, why didn't I think of that?"
Oh,
That
yeah.
seems so simple.
It is. It's perfect.
But other cities have started to jump on board.
Right.
I mean, you got Houston, you got Memphis, Detroit, probably about 20 cities that we can kind of, see their numbers and metrics that have jumped on board with this thing. And so the city has gotten aboard. People are volunteering their hours. People are, volunteering their resources, and that's big, man. That's community in a nutshell, being able to help a brother or a neighbor in ways that he can't help himself is kind of great.
Yeah, you know what's nice about this? It's not like it's downtown or it's West End or it's Forest Park or something. It's all over.
Yeah, it's not just St. Louis. I mean,
Right.
it's the region. It's St.
Right.
Charles. It's Edwardsville. It's Belleville. It's anybody who's ever worn a Cardinal cap.
Mhm.
It probably fits right in.
Have you guys been contacted by? I know you mentioned a lot of cities, but the cities that may have the area code, like Springfield, might use 417 and have
Yeah.
a 417 day, or
Yeah.
Mhm.
or Kansas City have an 816 day. Have other cities contacted you guys about stuff
Other
like
cities
that?
have. Kansas City was big this year. They came. They flew out. We sat with them for a few days, kind of explaining the blueprint,
Hmm.
ways to get into the Chamber of Commerce, how to work with your local politicians, how to work with your local sports teams. So we're open book. You know what I mean? Because we've bumped our head 19 years of it, and
Right.
this is not my primary job. You know what I mean? This is not Terrell's primary job, and so we spend a lot of time, giving back and doing that for other cities is great because we, now we've created foundations where we have scholarships,
Oh, right.
and so
Cool.
we want people to educate local too. And because what happens a lot of times is guys come in, they get great educations at Mizzou, at SLU, and then they go take that great education and make other great companies great, right? So we
Right.
want people to educate local, Stay local, work local, grow local.
So where do you see this progressing beyond year 20 next year,
Yeah.
like to 25 and 30? And what are your and DIP's kind of goals and aspirations
Yeah.
for that?
So we really have focused and pivoted again towards the future.
Mhm.
We know that in any good business, you have to go recruit young, because they're going to be innovative.
Mhm.
They're going to understand Snapchat and Twitter, and I have no idea how that stuff works, right?
Right.
And so we have a reverse mentorship program where we
cool.
go and we get student ambassadors to teach us as much as we can teach them. And so the future of 314 Day will be based on what the future looks like for them. We'll lay out the groundwork, but we have to see what they want St. Louis to look like.
So are you like ready to pass the reins over to the next generation, or is it like let's hold the reins at the same time?
No.
or-
We're never going to be gatekeepers of this city because that's not who we are.
Okay.
We're just going to be cheerleaders, and we're going to be loud. And if you can get louder, get louder. You know what I mean?
Another quote here. A lot of people still just thought 314 Day was a party, and it was,
Yeah.
but it's always been community. That's been the goal.
That's always been a goal.
I guess you've got a lot of good advertisements, and folks, I want to say again, the STL.com, just look up 314 Day, also 314day.org. I didn't know this was 19 years old.
Mm-mm.
No. You and I are born, raised here.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily speak to what I'm going to say. No, it's not a lack of marketing or anything like
Mhm.
that. It's just an awareness that there's so many things happening.
Yeah.
And how do you raise that to the top of the pile that I would say, because, there's food here, there's a food deal here. And I think you guys have really gotten a big media presence this year now.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is this the biggest year for media presence related to that?
I think it's growing. I think just because there's more outlets and more people want
Mhm.
to tap into it. But I think that the people have always been doing the work.
Mhm.
So that's, I think that is really the biggest story. But yeah, for 19 years, it hasn't had this sort of popularity.
Mhm.
But we're not going to shun away from it either. I mean, we're great.
How has this impacted you personally to see this grow like this?
It is a pinch me moment a lot of times. I just talked about that the other day. We won an Emmy on 9 PBS, had a show
No
called
kidding.
Living St. Louis.
Wow.
Good for
And
you.
they had a 314 Day episode, and they kind of talked about Terrell and I, and then they went into pockets of different people in St. Louis, and I think that's how it continues to grow.
Right.
When people realize that you are St. Louis.
Mhm.
Without you, this city is just however many square miles as it is, but it's the people that make this place great, right? And so, as you realize that you are a puzzle piece in this city, you are 314 Day. And we wanted to really emphasize that this year with more diversity, focusing on the neighborhoods of St. Louis. There's some rich tradition in neighborhoods. And there is, in any given 15-minute drive, you're in a completely different city.
That's true.
You know
So
what I
true.
mean? If you leave the Arch and go 15 minutes west, you're in
Yeah.
East St. Louis. If east, you go East St. Louis, you got west, you're in Ladue and Clayton.
Mhm.
You go South City, that's a completely different environment. You go
It is.
North City, completely different environment.
Yep.
And so, but as we continue to talk about the ways that we're different, and by realizing the ways we're similar, we can break down some walls and create
Mhm.
some amazing bridges.
Mhm.
And I'm super excited as more people realize what 314 Day is and its guts and who it is and what it is and that, I think organically we'll just continue to grow and be great.
Well said.
Yes.
Good for you.
So,
Yeah.
folks, if you want to become a part of this annual celebration, you can contact 314 Day. Like maybe you want to get on board with
Yeah.
something that your business or maybe your neighborhood wants to do to help not only your local community, but the greater St. Louis community out. I'm sure that they are taking considerations for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like so many small businesses don't have the marketing dollars
Uh-uh.
to go crazy. You know what I
Right.
mean? But doesn't mean they're not creating good products or great service, right? And so we just say, hey, attach yourself to us. Let us know what you're doing. We'll put a machine behind you. Like you said, we're getting tons of promo and press, and we're getting people on television that have never had an opportunity to be seen. Let us get behind you. Let's help us help you. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
It does. Yeah.
We've been talking to Tatum Polk. He's one of the founders and director of operations for 314 Day. Tatum, any last words to encourage people to go to these activities and be a part of what you guys have been doing for 19 years?
Yeah, I say one, go to thestl.com/314 day and kind of see where you fit. And if you don't fit, submit. Every year
I like that.
we take on what you're doing. What is your culture doing? How are you partying? How are you giving back? Let us, hashtag 314 day.
Mhm.
I spend probably a week or two looking at hashtags from 314 day and seeing how other people celebrate it and what they're doing and where they are and the things that they enjoy and the things that they love and how do they give back. One of the things we look forward in year 20 is a community cleanup day,
Mhm.
where we
wow.
just really focus on everybody get a trash bag and just fill it up. Wherever you are, fill it up.
Mhm.
When
That's
I was a kid, there was a thing called Operation Brightside.
Right.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom, said, hey, we're just going to go in the alley and we're going to pick up as much trash as possible. And you would be surprised by the aesthetics of buildings or the aesthetics of your community.
No kidding.
What kind of pride that puts in you.
No,
Mhm.
I'm so with you.
Yeah. Clean up.
We have a thing called leave no trace.
Leave no trace.
It's the
Can
same.
you teach that to my son?
I know.
I'm like, I know exactly what you ate today. I know exactly what socks you had on today.
Yeah. Leave no trace. It's
trace.
true.
Hansel
And-
and Gretel.
Yeah. Can I
Absolutely.
if you're driving down 44 and you get off at Jefferson,
Yeah.
the trash is amazing.
Yeah.
It is it's sad.
Yeah.
It is really sad to me.
Yeah. It's there's a,
I don't know. People just throw stuff out the window.
I remember.
What is that about?
I had a Facebook argument almost. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Somebody
please.
did it and they were in front of me and I'm like, God, man.
What are you doing?
It can't be that hard to
No.
wait till you get to your destination. There's going to be a trash can. There's going to be whatever.
Thank
Come
you.
on. What is
yeah,
the
that was-
deal? I know.
This is our city, man.
I don't understand that.
Well, somebody's got to pick it up or it
Somebody's
just
gotta
blows
pick it
away.
up. Yeah, that's
You know,
just bad.
We have an alley, and I go back there, and I'm always picking up junk. I mean, and you're right. It looks great. It looks
Looks great.
totally different.
It's a different sense of pride.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
even though things might be old and kind of rough,
Yeah.
when there's no trash, it's a whole different.
It's a little different.
It is. It's a whole different thing. I am with you on this. I'll come out and help you. I'll be
Well,
there.
that's one of my things. I'm going to probably adopt a highway this year and get out there and do some more work.
I don't know. There's a lot of work on 44.
I know there's
Right
70
there.
is worse.
Is it?
Yes, go
All right.
go 15 minutes that way.
All right. I
It's,
haven't done it.
Yeah, go
It's-
from the arch to the airport, and it's a tough ride, but it is again fixable.
It is. I wish somebody tell me what they're thinking when they're
Yeah.
just like driving and
All those problems are fixable, and they're not solely on our local government. That's on people. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
right.
take care of things yourself.
right.
You know what I mean? You can't. And I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but the
Yeah.
reality is, everybody should do their part.
Right.
Well, and I think that's evidenced by 314 Day. It's just not one person. It's just not a few people. It's the community.
Yeah.
And it's everybody being involved, supporting the community, taking care of the community, and advocating for the community.
Yeah.
So
Let's hear it. For
Aw.
Okay. That's pretty good, Arnold.
well, hey, I have great
It's
inspiration
pretty-
right in front of me
I
here.
know, right?
So Tatum, thanks for coming in to St.
No,
Louis and
oh,
Tune. We
anytime,
greatly
I'll come
appreciate it.
back anytime. That's great.
All right. So we'll be right back for our next segment, folks. You're listening to St. Louis in Tune with Arnold Stricker and Mark Langston on the U.S. Radio Network.
As strange as it may sound, at Better Rate Mortgage, we love talking to people about mortgages. Everyone in St. Louis promises a better mortgage rate, but what you really need to turn that perfect house into your dream home is a better mortgage. At Better Rate Mortgage, we open the door to so much more. So where are you in the home buying process? Researching? Maybe wondering how much you can afford? House hunting? Get a pre